Hi, I'm Liz.
And I'm Sissy.
And welcome back to Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch for Flosstube episode 30. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode. I've got my co-host with me today. Mom is joining me today because she's been super busy and super crafty. How long has it been since you've been on? Was it November or December?
It's probably November.
So.
Or October, even. It's been a while,
but
judging by the pile.
She's made a lot of quilt tops, a lot of quilts, done some cross stitching, and she's going to join me today to go through all the fun stuff we've been working on. I have got an update on my Mirabilia for you. I started it and I have some thoughts on starting a Mirabilia, and got a lot of fun haul, and I got a really nice gift in the mail, and I have a giveaway winner, so stick around, we're gonna get into it. Okay, so we're gonna start with finishes, and Mom has a cross stitch finish that is so cute that she's gonna share with you.
So, here's the pattern. I know you've all seen Elizabeth's finish, so don't compare.
No,
don't
stop
judge.
it. It's the Lizzie Kate ABCs, which 123 Stitch did re-release, which is so exciting. So you can get this pattern now. I know it was hard to find when I first started showing it off.
So here's mine.
Oh, look how cute. Here, hold it up a little bit higher. So what did you use?
So I used fabric that you had given to me that you started something on, and I picked out the threads.
Picture This Plus gingerbread.
Oh, okay.
28 count, I believe, or 32. Did it feel tighter or looser than what you're used to?
I don't know.
I think it's 28. I feel like frosted pumpkin usually kits up with 28 count. This piece was actually from a frosted pumpkin stitchery Stitch Along several years ago, and I ended up not liking the pattern, and so my mom had picked out what I had started, and then she used this piece of gingerbread fabric.
Yeah,
so cute.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I started it, I think I looked back, I started it on December 30th, and I finished it right about 1 month later.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. It was something to keep me busy, you know, after Melanie and Sophia and Isla and Sam all left, and
she had an empty house.
Empty house again. So,
oh,
but yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I want I want you to make it into a pillow for me.
Yeah. So I'll if I can find one, I'll insert a picture of my pillow that I've shown you guys. And so we're gonna do something similar with my mom's, because it's on the same count of fabric, so it should come out to be about the same size. And I was able to find a standard pillow insert for that pillow, so we should be able to do the same thing.
Good.
With yours. So cute.
And most of those were the called for colors, but there were some substitutions.
Yeah, so I noticed that my my pattern, I bought it as a kit, and so it comes with, you know, what the recommended called for colors are, but that's different from how it's listed on 123 Stitch. And I mean, it's the same types of colors, it's just slightly different called for. So we compared those and this and the DMC, and then picked you know, from those three options to get her colors, just so we could pick from stash.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I had a couple of sewing finishes this week. Unfortunately no cross stitch finishes because I was working on some big projects and starting a couple of new things, but I did make some project bags. So the first one I made I actually shared on Instagram. I was trying to make this as a tutorial to show you guys how I put my project bags together. And it was a bit of a fail because I realized halfway through I had done one of the steps wrong and was going to have to seam rip the whole thing and start over.
Oops.
I know. And I was like, I guess I could explain that in the tutorial and then show you the right way, but I didn't want the tutorial to be confusing. So instead I fixed my bag and finished it, but I'm going to have to redo a tutorial. So at some point I will show you guys how I make these. So I finished this one, and then I decided I really wanted to make a vinyl front bag. I had ordered this really cute Valentine's fabric, and it's like little postage stamps. Is it super glary or is it okay?
yeah, it's good if you angle it like that and then just slide it over.
Yeah.
A little bit more. There you go.
There you go. So it's, yeah, like Valentine's postage stamps, and I did the red and white hearts as the backing and the binding, and I found this purple zipper that I thought matched so cute with
really
the colors in here. So I made a little vinyl front Valentine's
bag.
bag.
Color for your old bedroom at home. Periwinkle.
Oh, yeah. So anyways, I made a couple project bags this week and also did some stitching. So my mom also made a project bag recently.
Yes, so I had some little 2.5-inch squares in some of your de-stash that you gave me. And so I sewed them all together and made a project bag. And Sarah's using it for her current knitting project. So I made that. And then I also remembered that we'd had 2 little wooden, a baby bed and a little wooden cradle for dolls that we brought to Charlie and Andy to play with their toys. And of course they needed mattresses. So I also made a mattress for each of the 2 baby beds. So they're playing with those. And the little orange monkey fabric that's in the cradle was from that shop that we went to on Anderson Mill.
Oh yeah,
that had
secondhand.
the secondhand.
Yeah, there used to be this really cool secondhand fabric store near my mom's house. It was only open a year or so, right?
It wasn't open that long. But
I guess selling secondhand fabric is not lucrative. Especially when we just go buy it all for 50 cents.
Yeah, but I still have like some Laura Ashley prints and stuff, and it was really good at first when I was just getting into the quilting because there were so many fabric samples that they would have, like all of the nice quilting cottons, and they were all, you know, stapled together as the samples, and so I could just mix and match those and automatically had fabrics that went together and didn't have to think about it because it's not my thing.
Okay, so now we're going to do some previous finishes. Mom brought a couple of things, one a very recent finish and one from, how long ago?
Many years ago. Let's just call it many. I don't want to. So, we talked about this one in a previous video, but this is my first quilting.
Look how cute!
Yep, so it's just a wall hanging, and it was all machine pieced and then hand quilted. And if you see the back, you can see it was all hand quilted because...
Yeah, look at that.
So,
and it was applique?
It was applique, yeah. I was fancy.
I
Didn't
know.
even know it.
You were.
And I looked at my half square triangles, and they actually weren't bad.
No, they look good.
So, yeah, I have no idea how I made them look like that. But anyway, I found it when
This used to hang over your bed, right?
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
That's
it
what I
was
remember.
put in a closet, and I cleaned out the closet and found it. So there's that. And then I made this little blanket, a doll blanket for Andy. And it's got these cute little
hedgehogs
on the back. And this was my first ever attempt at free motion quilting, and I'm trying to see. So, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it says Andy Higgins on this row.
Oh yeah, right here.
And then this row down here says Gigi loves you.
Oh.
So, first and last attempt ever at free motion
you
quilting.
should try it on your new machine. You should give it a shot.
So it's very hard. I think straight lines are going to be it. So
I mean, I don't even know why I'm pushing you because I'm bad at it too. But
well,
but I feel like this machine does make it easier than our old machine. So
yeah. Okay.
My mom for Christmas got the same sewing machine that I have, which is a Juki DX7. And so I've been, you know, showing her all my tips and tricks with it.
Which is why I bought it. So I had a built-in teacher.
So the first thing I worked on this week was Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. And This is the only sampler that I worked on this week. I've been doing, you know, samplerary, where I'm trying to work on all my samplers. And unfortunately, I only worked on one this week because, well, I actually didn't get as much stitching done as I wanted to. I had to have a dental procedure and I was in a lot of pain for a couple of days and I really couldn't do anything. I tried to stitch. Like, there's the reason this thread is still hanging out is because I literally stopped mid-stitch and I was like, I can't stitch.
Oh, you must have been in pain.
I know. So here's where I'm at with Land That I Love. It's a big one. I know. I worked on more of the alphabet and stuff up top. And then I started working on the side of that house and stopped mid-stitch. I'm stitching this on my own over-dyed fabric. I over-dyed a piece of limestone 36 count Zweigart. And I'm using all of the called for colors. And I think they're so beautiful. I shared a picture on my Instagram yesterday just because I feel like these colors are just so beautiful. And I really like the way they look on my fabric. So yeah, this is a really fun one. It's real big. It's like 200 something by 200 something, but
wow.
I know, but it's fun. Okay, so the next one is a new start, and it's one I told you guys I wanted to start last week, and it is the Hip Hop Chockful by Hands On Design and Priscilla Blaine. And I'm starting with the jar, and look at my little teeny tiny start.
How cute.
I got one of the little bunnies in and started putting in some of the leaves and the flowers, and I got 2 carrots, and this is just so cute. I love it.
Getting ready for Easter.
I know, because you know I did that Santa jar, and so I want to finish this one the same way and be able to put it out in the same spot. So it's just so springy and fun.
Pretty colors.
Oh, and I am using the 32 count Fabrics by Stephanie in slate that the pattern calls for, and most of the called for colors. I didn't have bean sprout, so I think this is baby spinach or something. But it's a close match. So there's my start. Okay, so the big new start this week was my Mirabilia Florentina. And I told you guys I was going to start it as soon as I got fabric. And I actually ordered 3 fabrics because I wasn't sure what I wanted to stitch it on. And I picked a winner, which... let me just show you what I'm at. Well, I picked 32 count Picture This Plus Chalice, which is this golden creamy color. And here's my start. It doesn't look like much yet, does it? But that was, yeah, it's dense. So, I mean, it's pretty full coverage. So this is like 3 nights of stitching right there. And it's so fun. So far I have done solid DMC, some blends. I've worked with the Karen water lilies for these cherries, and I've started working with the sparkle threads, which it calls for Krynic, but I switched to Petite Treasure braid in the matching colors. Do I have those handy? Yeah, so it called for 2 colors of Krynic, and 123 Stitch was sold out of one of them. So here is one of the called for. But I also bought the equivalent Petite Treasure braid in the gold and copper. And so I have ended up using the Petite Treasure braid, and it is so much easier. Like if you just feel like the roughness of that versus, right? Yeah. So the only problem is that with the Krynic, it's thick enough that you can stitch with just 1 thread of it. But on 32 count, the Petite Treasure braid is a little bit thinner. So I am doubling it to stitch with it, which is slightly more annoying, but it's so much easier still than trying to stitch with this Krynic. And it looks super sparkly. I don't know if the sparkle will translate, but here and here, it's so pretty. It's really fun. Yeah, so her dress is just full of these little bunches of cherries that all have Karen water lilies and the Petite Treasure braid and beads. And I cannot wait to get to the beads.
So
I'm really excited.
Yeah,
because I think if I tried to sew them on now with since I hold everything in my hand, I might mess up where I put them. But so it comes with these little gold and purple beads, and they'll go around like the cherries and I think in her hair and just different places in the dress. So I can't wait till I get to that part, but you know, that's at the very end. So
that way you finish it.
I know. I mean, it's so funny. So like, we hold this up. So here is where I'm at. Hold with both hands, sorry. And then if you can see on the pattern, that is right here. So just kind of like on her knees. So this is going to definitely take a while, but you know, it's super fun. So far, it's super fun. I will say that 32 count, 2/2 is my least favorite way to stitch because especially with this picture, this plus 32 count, it's a tighter weave. And I even considered doing 1 strand, but no, I'm doing the 2 strands as called for. It's just the stitches are so dense and like fluffy, and I feel like my stitches just don't look as clean. Like they just look messier than.
I think they look great, but
yeah, I mean, they're not bad, but like if you just compare it, I feel like to the way 1 strand looks, like I just feel like my 1 strand stitching is so much nicer than my 2 strand stitching. I don't know, but it's not, I mean, it's still super fun to work on, and I'm, you know, yeah, and I love it so far. It's just, I had 2 projects this week where I was doing 2/2 on 32 because my chalkboard and this, but it's fine. It's just not my favorite because I don't feel like my stitches look as nice. But yeah, that was my experience starting the Mirabilia. Big thank you to Rocio from Kokohama Stitchery for answering questions for me, and Julie and Lisa Smith. All of you, I've been DMing you about your Mirabilia expertise and helping me get started, so thank you. Okay, so next up, we're going to talk about quilting. Mom has been a quilting machine, and she has some fun stuff to show you. You want to start with what you're working on?
Yeah, so Fat Quarter Shop is doing a quilt along that they started, I think, sometime in 2020, called the Socialite Quilt Along. And so I stumbled across it and I picked out the easy pattern blocks. And it's a sampler kind of block. So here's one that I did. I had just had a bunch of...
if you hold it back a little bit, it'll be more in the... Yeah, there you go.
So I had bought this print in Amsterdam on a trip probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's been sitting around. So I decided to try with this. So I have this other little print. Same design.
I love that little...
the little flowers.
Those are really cute.
And then this was the other block, and they're not trimmed yet, but you know, I like this one. I think it's fun. So, and then
when you're doing the pressing sideways instead of open,
yeah,
you like it?
I do when I have like these kind of seams because it makes it easier to match them up. So they're not perfect, but you know,
they look good.
So I just have been kind of reversing them because I have the squares already cut to the right width. And then this one's kind of my favorite design, I think.
Yeah, it's almost like a little Union Jack.
It is.
How cool.
So, and then this is probably my favorite of the purple prints. I like this.
Hold it up slightly higher. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Cute.
So, and the purple, both purples were compliments of Stash from Elizabeth and then the reverse.
I wish I could have figured out what purples those were, but I could not find them.
And then this one was kind of a little pinwheel, almost. And then the reverse.
Cute.
So, I think I have, I don't know, 8 or 9.
How many are you making?
We'll see how much fabric I have, and then we'll determine the
That's kind of how I'm doing mine too, because I don't know how much all those fat quarters are going to get me, and I like some of the prints more than others, so I'm using those heavier. So I've worked on my Americana quilt, sampler quilt this week as well. And I still don't know what my layout or exactly how many blocks I'm making, but I just keep making 6-inch and 12-inch blocks. So this week I made this little 6-inch block.
That's so cute.
Isn't it? And it is a blockheads block, so I'll put the number on the screen. And then I made this little block, which is also technically from a blockheads pattern, but it's not a whole block. It's like the XO block, and I just made the X because I needed another 6-inch square.
Cute.
And then I made a 12-inch one, which is another blockheads one. I think this one's called Intersection. And it's just kind of like a weird little pinwheel type thing where it comes into the center, and I love it.
Very cute.
Yay! And then Mom has made some quilt tops recently that we're going to talk about. So which one do you want to talk about first?
Well, let's talk about the one that's actually finished.
Okay.
So I finished, put together.
Did you quilt that one on your machine too?
I did.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that was, yeah. So I had, Elizabeth had made me this beautiful quilt for Christmas, and she had some scraps left over from it. So I took that and tried to follow a Victoria Finley Wolf quilt pattern. And then after I got it put together, I realized that the corners were put in backwards. But, you know,
still looks good.
Yeah, but it was a ton of little pieces and a lot of little. But so that one was my first decent sized quilt that was quilted on my machine. So I did all straight lines on that because that's all I could do. It was just too hard to maneuver. That was on my older machine. So anyway, and then so that was a lot of fun. And then I bound it and got it all, had it ready for Christmas. And then the next one, I guess about 3 or 4 years ago, we went to the International Quilt Market in Houston.
Oh, I miss going to those.
I know. I really wish. Can't wait till
I know.
And QuiltCon and all of that. So,
I think it's back in Austin next year if they have it.
Oh, really?
Or it was supposed to be this year. Oh wait, no. It was supposed to be, I think.
Oh, it was supposed to be this year, of course. So
okay, sorry.
Yeah, so I know.
COVID.
But so anyway, I had bought some Victoria Finley Wolf fabric, a bunch of fat quarters, and Christmas prints. So I got some solid green from her that matched those, and I did the quilt top that was the same as the one I did for Melanie, with the pieces that make it look like the shape of Texas.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I did hers too since I was last on with you. I made hers and fully finished it, but it's not here with us anymore. It's in Dubai.
We showed that.
We did?
Yeah, you held it up in the backyard with the other quilts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Couldn't remember. So I finished my quilt top, and I used a green background on that one. And then I took a picture about 2 years ago when we were in Abu Dhabi at this palace, taking a tour of this big, huge floor tile. And it was, I thought, I took it
I'll
for
put the
you.
picture in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool.
You would be able to use it in several different pictures to make a quilt pattern out of.
I'm not quite as adventurous as her. I like a pattern.
Yeah. So, well, as you can see in mine, my pattern wasn't exact on the measurements, but I did try to look it up to see how long to make the cuts and stuff because there's a lot of half square triangles.
Yeah, like she made this whole pattern based on a floor tile. It looks so cool.
I didn't look at the colors of the floor tile when
no,
I was doing
it's
the
just
fabrics, because otherwise I would have grouped them a little differently. But anyway, I'm happy with the way it turned out. And it was also made from some of the fabrics from Amsterdam from that same shopping trip. So I've pretty much gone through most of that. So
cool.
Anyway, so there's that one. And there was another one that I did. Oh, I made, so Charlie is 5 years old. And
going on 15.
Yes. So 5.5 years ago, I bought fabric to make him a dust ruffle for his baby bed. And 5 years later, I took that same fabric that never got used and I turned it into a twin size quilt top.
Did you have enough fabric to do the whole quilt in it, or did you have to buy supplemental?
I did not buy anything extra.
That would have been the biggest dust ruffle in the world.
I don't know why we needed that much fabric for a dust ruffle, but I didn't question it. So it's basic, it's just 12-inch or 12.5-inch square, no, 12-inch squares.
Half square triangles, right?
Half square triangles.
Yeah, just big half square triangles all turn different directions and things. Yeah.
Yeah, so Allison and Dad coordinated the arrangement.
Oh my gosh, do we have that picture? somebody up on a ladder looking at it?
No.
Okay.
He was on the stairs looking down.
Okay, okay.
But yeah, we don't have any
My dad
pictures.
was helping them arrange the blocks before my mom set it all together.
Yeah, so at one point I think it was just like he had enough and said, yeah, it's fine, just like that. So, but anyway, so I have that for you to quilt whenever you have time. Thank you, dear.
I know, I was about to ask you have all of these completed quilts. How are you getting them all done? We'll see.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I'm so busy right now. No. I don't ever leave the house. Yay. Well, that was Quilt Corner.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go through the haul of it all because I got some things. So in my quest for the perfect fabric for my Mirabilia, I had ordered the 32 count chalice, Picture This Plus, that I ended up using from 123 Stitch. And then I ordered 2 other pieces, which are both beautiful, but ended up just not being what I wanted to use. So the first one, I had called Wendy at the Tinsmith's Wife last week and said, I'm going to stitch a Mirabilia and I need a piece of fabric. And so she sent me some pictures and I chose this beautiful piece of Under the Sea fabrics. It's 32 count, and I don't know if that color is showing up very accurately. It's a very pale, like pink kind of rose quartz type color with splotches of brown, and it's really pretty, but the reason I ended up not using it was because I felt like there was a little too much brown in it, and I felt like it might be the exact same color as her skin. But it's really beautiful. It's called Rose Merita by Under the Sea Fabrics, and I'm sure I will find a beautiful project for it. And then the other piece of fabric that I bought, look how pretty this one is. I almost used it just because I love the fabric this much, but I think Chalice was the better pick, and I will find another project for this. But this is a 28 count Picture This Plus in Mesa, which I feel like is looking a lot more orangey on camera than it does, right? It's so hard to capture colors correctly. I don't know.
Pretty.
It's gorgeous. It's a very corally pink mottled fabric, and maybe if I get addicted to Mirabilias, I'll stitch another one on this. Who knows? So that was my fabric, my linen, and then I don't think I got anything else cross stitch related this week, did I? I don't think so. But then I did buy a stack of fabric from Fat Quarter Shop and Etsy. Handmade is heart made, which I've talked to you guys about before. So look how interesting this is. This is the piece of fabric I bought, and it's from Ruby Star Society. Feel this. It's called Chore Coat Toweling. Have you ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
And so it's like a toweling material, like you could make kitchen towels out of it. And I just thought it was so interesting. So it comes pre-hemmed on 2 sides. And then you buy it in length. So I just bought an 18-inch length. And I'll probably just hem it and use it as a kitchen towel. But I just wanted to feel it. Like I was like Ruby Star's making like toweling? Huh. I know. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna fix this. And then I don't know if you want to see every single fabric, but I bought this really pretty border print that I thought might make a cool project bag if I could get it cut out the right way. So, or we'll see. And then I just bought like a bunch of basics. Like I got this aqua, this yellow, another faded aqua, a faded yellow, like a sea foamy type pale green, some pink and white gingham, and some Valentine flowers. I just really wanted, I have a lot of Christmas fabrics, and I feel like I have a lot of like summery, bright colored things, and I wanted a better mix of fabrics to use for cross stitch finishing and for project bags, and just, I don't know. So I got some fabrics. And then one of the other things I got from Fat Quarter Shop that I was going to show my mom is I subscribed to the Moda Fat Quarter Club, and the first months are really pretty. They're just not necessarily my colors, and I knew that she was using purple in her most recent quilt, and so if you think any of these will work, take some of these home with you. So that's my Fat Quarter Club from Moda.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, happy mail. I got, oh, I guess I won't show you my address. I got the biggest box of stuff from Lori. Thank you, Lori. We've been talking all week. Thank you. I was so overwhelmed. This is so generous. She had a bunch of extra charts, and a lot of things are kitted with the DMC, and I put a couple on top of some of the ones that I really like are my favorites, like this little Summer Hill from Plum Street Samplers. I think that's so cute. And then this one that a lot of people are stitching right now, I think it's called the Pink House Sampler by Plum Street, which is also so beautiful. And I mean, oh, there's just too much in this box. A lot of this, not a lot, some of this is duplicates of stuff I have. So you're going to be seeing some more giveaways coming from me because of Lori's generosity. So thank you, Lori, for sending this and letting me give away some of these items to all of you guys. So yay, that was my happy mail. Oh, she also sent so much DMC. I have a severe lack of DMC in my stash. I just buy it as I need it. I don't have like a full collection or anything. So I just have like one plastic Rubbermaid shoebox full of DMC, and this is gonna
fill it in.
Yeah, and it's all really good, useful colors. So thank you. Okay, so we put this away and we'll do the giveaway. Okay, so let's do a giveaway. Thank you guys all so much for entering last week. I'm really glad so many of you want to stitch Liberty chock-full along with me. So I searched the word Liberty in the comments and did the random YouTube comment picker, and the winner for this is Sunny Girl. So I'll put your name up on the screen. Yay, congratulations. My email address is below, so just email me and I'll mail this out to you. Woo! And then through the generosity of Lori's amazing box of stuff, there were a couple of charts that I had, or well, one that I have and one that I'm going to give away. They're both, I feel like, seasonally appropriate. One for our current season. I know the Midwest and Northeast is currently under so much snow. So you guys know I started this one and love it. So if anybody would like to stitch Mr. Marshmallow, just use marshmallow. Wait, how hard is that to spell? It's easy, right? Double L's. Double L, people. Put marshmallow in your comment.
All one word.
Would people put a space in it? All one word.
Just in case. Just trying to be helpful.
So if you want to win Mr. Marshmallow, use the word marshmallow. And then look at this cute little one. This is Bent Creek Easter Bunny Row. And for anybody like me who is already thinking spring and summer, who maybe wants to stitch some cute little springy bunnies, just use bunny, B-U-N-N-Y. Use bunny in your comment. You can enter for both, but you can only win one. So if you win one, you won't win the other one. But feel free to enter for both. And yeah, this is so much fun. I hit 6,000 subscribers this week.
Congratulations.
Which is wild. I have to imagine that like 3 of you are watching, so I don't get too overwhelmed when I sit here. But then I get, 400 comments and I'm like, oh God, they're all watching.
And it's not just me.
I know. It's not. It used to just be her. Now it's not. Is that all we have? I think so.
That's all I brought.
Okay. I feel like that was a lot. We've gone 40-ish minutes plus quilt time. So, Yeah. All right. Well, that's the show for this week. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. I'm sure none of you are watching this on Sunday. I'm sure you're watching this on Monday. So yeah, have a good week and I'll see you on Valentine's Day next week. Bye.
Bye.